You truly know that we are in clown world, in a clown market, that the world has gone truly, absolutely 100% insane when I, Christopher Bell, a not very nice person, am in massive agreement with none other than Maxine Waters. That's right. I agree with everything this woman is saying about cryptocurrency. And that's funny because I never seem to agree with this woman about anything because she has her certain things that she wants for certain people. And I've got certain things that I want for certain people as well. And we clash consistently. So let's go ahead and read this article, this opinion piece that Maxine Waters posted. And I'm going to give you my thoughts about some of the upcoming crypto legislation that's being pushed through Congress and how that's going to affect the United States going forward. And it's not good. At least that's my personal opinion. So let's see what old Maxine has to say. Let's listen to her beautiful, beautiful opinion. You, sister. My colleagues, I won't do her accent the whole time. My colleagues in Congress are making a mistake advancing these crypto bills. This week, the House will consider several crypto bills, including the so-called Clarity Act and the Genius Act. You have to remember with names, with every bill that's passed, they always try to make these like funny or cool sounding names to make the bill sound like it's something that it's not. Like, for example, the Inflation Reduction Act that was passed when Biden was the president. How did that in any way, with an increase in government spending, reduce inflation? But you catch my drift. So apparently we have the Clarity Act and the Genius Act for cryptocurrency. Well, let me give you some clarity on crypto. It's a scam. That's the only sentence that should be in the act. And then you have the Genius Act, which if you think crypto is a genius investment, you're a moron. So let's see what Maxine has to say. I told you so. Believe it or not, as an elected official, I hate saying those 4 words. Oh, I bet you love saying those words, Maxine. You love being right, especially when you're talking to people like me. Not because I don't like being right, but because when the moment comes to say them, it usually means that something has gone terribly wrong. Oh, a lot has gone terribly wrong. You know, like I said, I voted for Trump. I did. I voted for Donald J. Trump. And I actually love some of the things he's doing, and I'll never, not support him on those things. But when it comes to cryptocurrency, I'm a little peeved with my Geodis. Okay, I think he's taking the wrong stance, but since he is a professional grifter, it's just a fact. Of course, he supports cryptocurrency, and he's enriching himself massively from cryptocurrency. Keep buying those Trump coins, guys. It also means other elected officials and policymakers were warned and chose to ignore that warning and move ahead anyway. Well, yes, policymakers are bought and paid for. Okay, if you don't realize that by now, you're a clown. The entire United States government is captured not by Israel or whatever people want to say. It's captured by money. Large corporations, large donors can influence elections because they finance the elections. All the money for elections comes from rich people and corporations and large organizations and entities. They influence everything in the United States. It's a sham democracy or sham republic. It's a joke. Okay, as long as you have money, you can buy influence and power in the United States. And it's always going to be that way. It always was that way. It is that way now, and it always will be, regardless of the administration. And now cryptocurrency, which has made illicit gains through a variety of disgusting ways and has plundered the working class and poor people, is using the money made from that plundering and those scams and those grifts to buy Congress. Dirty money has bought Congress to influence cryptocurrency regulation, and that regulation is going to be supportive of making crypto even more grifty than it already is. God bless America. We warned them about the risk of tearing down the barriers between commercial and investment banking and of deregulating regional banks. Yeah, why would you want a barrier between commercial and investment banking, bro? Look, everything that Wall Street touches gets griftified, okay? I have hated Wall Street forever. I worked as a financial advisor. I know what they do. They're scum. They exist to extract as much as they can, and they provide no value. Buy VT. Buy an index fund. Trust me, bro. Not financial advice. But those warnings were ignored. Those bills became law. And when it all came crashing down, everybody was quick to point fingers, but not at themselves. Yes, I remember the 2008, 2009 crisis. I was in college. I was an ROTC scholarship. I was getting a stipend from the government. It didn't really affect me at all. My dad worked for the government, so I didn't really feel anything with the financial crisis. But looking back and reading about it, I really see what happened. Wall Street committed one of the most disgusting grifts ever by putting toxic mortgages into synthetic products and selling them everywhere. And they collapsed the global economy. Wall Street in the United States was the cause of the financial crisis. Rampant greed. That's what caused it. And they screwed over the world. The world. They brought down everybody. America did. Good job, America. And what were the consequences? Vertical lines in the U.S. stock market and bailouts for large Wall Street institutions and banks. They didn't suffer a single mishap. That's messed up. Okay? And this isn't being a liberal or a communist. That's kind of messed up. Okay? But, if you're a shill for large corporations, then go ahead and shill all you want. They're good guys. They make lots of money, and that's good in America. That's all that matters. Now I'm sounding the alarm about the risks of pending crypto legislation, which will open the floodgates to massive fraud and financial ruin for millions of American families. God help us. If crypto becomes normalized, in 2020, I believe it was 2020, when everything collapsed, all those crypto exchanges went bust, FTX collapsed, it was a disaster. And, I actually did well on YouTube during those months. I was like, see, I told you all these clowns were clowns and you were going to get screwed listening to them. And what happened? They pointed the finger at Sam Bankman-Fried. They said, it's not crypto, bro. It was Sam Bankman-Fried. He was the scapegoat for cryptocurrency's utter collapse and failure in 2022 or whatever it was. No, it's crypto. Crypto is synonymous with fraud. It should be next to fraud in the dictionary. I don't care if it's out of order. Crypto is fraud. It always is. It was, is, and always will be. Fraud, fraud, fraud. It exists to siphon money from people who can least afford to lose it. And now we're going to make it a central part of our economy? That's not good, okay? Now, the blockchain technology, okay, there's some, applications for it. Sure. Blockchain, okay? I'm not against blockchain. But this ain't just about blockchain. Trust me, this is about making crypto speculation and gambling endemic in the United States. Because that's all it is. Wall Street, all the firms offer poor people the chance to gamble their money, to buy lottery tickets. And the whole time, Wall Street is extracting fees and profits while those clowns gamble to try to get rich quick because they're desperate. That's kind of gross, America, okay? I'm not saying we have to be communist, but I think we should crack down on scams like that. I don't think that's good for America, but that's my America that I would want to see. Other people's America is rampant greed, speculation, and grift. And I guess that's freedom, bro. This week, the House will consider several crypto bills, including the so-called Clarity Act. I love these names. And the Genius Act, genius, which proponents claim will establish a pro-innovation regulatory framework for crypto that also safeguards consumers and investors. There are no safeguards for consumers and investors. Hawk Tuah girl scammed her fans and had no consequences. This is going to give protections for Wall Street. This is going to legitimize crypto scammers. They should not be legitimized. They should be sent to prison. Well, that ain't going to happen because profits, brah. But the reality is that they will be passing bills written by and for the crypto industry. Yes, it's bought and paid for. Crypto is going to get everything they wanted with Trump. They grift money out of people. They take that money and they use that to buy Congress and the president. That's why the president was tweeting about different cryptocurrencies. Oh, Bitcoin, this and that. It's all dirty money. It's all grift. It's all scummery. If either bill passes through Congress, we'll one day look back on its enactment as a pivotal moment in time, much like we point to the Graham-Leach-Bliley Act of 1990. I'm not familiar with that. That legislation dismantled Glass-Steagall's firewall between commercial and investment banking, allowing banks, brokers, and insurers to combine into mega financial supermarkets, all in the name of innovation. Oh, you mean Wall Street wanted to roll back regulations? You know, not all regulations are bad. Oh, we're going to cut red tape. It's not good, bro. Some regulations are actually good, especially in the finance industry. Especially in the finance industry. Finance people are vultures. They provide no value. They siphon. They suck away. They plunder. They're not good people. Okay? Believe me or not, whatever. Go watch LaFufu. When the predatory mortgages-fueled housing bubble burst, these innovators who amassed their wealth on the backs of vulnerable families required massive taxpayer bailouts. Of course they did. Well, you know, the rich bailing out the rich with tax dollars. It's all clownery. It's all scam. Okay? They gave mortgages to people that couldn't afford them. You find somebody that's poorly educated, you give, oh, I got this cheap mortgage, brah. You don't have to have a job, brah. And then the payment massively vertical lines after a couple of years because it's like an arm loan. And you just cook the family, but hey, you got your commission and you're able to offload the mortgage into a product that you could sell to somebody else. Yeah, good job. You're a really good person, but you made your money and that's what matters. That's what matters in America. That is, they privatize their gains and socialize their life. Yes, America is socialist for the rich. It's true. It's true. It is true. I've been awakened, okay? Thank you, YouTube Finance Grifting, for awakening me to the true grift that is America. And I know you may not like to hear this, okay? You got to open your eyes. Just be logical. Stop being a fanatic America worshiper at all expenses. There are problems in this country. And I voted for Trump, okay? A warning from the more recent past is the Economic Growth, Regulatory Relief, and Consumer Protection Act of 2018, which weakened oversight of regional banks and exposed depositors' potential losses, as seen in the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank in 2023. That was another fun fiasco, wasn't it? Crypto often paints its critics as Luddites at best, anti-American at worst. You actually are anti-American if you criticize crypto, because you're anti-grift, and America is the king of grifters. Soulless, demonic grifters that only care about profit and plunder. That is not a good country, okay? It can be fixed. It won't be. It could potentially be fixed. But the institutional power of Wall Street and money has got America in a stranglehold. And, you know, you are anti-American. If you don't like crypto, if you don't like scamming and grifting and scumbags, you're anti-American. I guess I'm anti-American. Throw me in jail. Oh, he's a traitor to our country. He doesn't like crypto. Let's have him tarred and feathered. The fact is, the Clarity and Genius bills wrap themselves in a flag of innovation, but all they really do is replicate the same mess that led to past financial crises. They call for few regulation. Yeah, no, we don't need regulation on crypto. There's nothing wrong with crypto. Minimal enforcement. Yeah, just let Huck to a girl grift. It's fine. Logan Paul, whatever his stupid name is. It's fine. Whatever, brah. Weak consumer protections and more industry consolidation. On top of that, these bills have a special intentional wrinkle that makes them essentially dangerous. They would legitimize and legalize the unprecedented crypto corruption by the President of the United States. I'm agreeing with Maxine Waters, okay? I have an open mind. I'm not a fanatic on most things. I am a fanatic on some things, but they're not YouTube friendly. Donald Trump and his family are raking in piles of cash. Oh, yes, real estate, that's old, bro. You don't need to invest in real estate. You can just buy crypto. They just sell meme coins, bruh. Buy strong dong schlong bong coin. It's going to make you rich. Trust me, bro. Much of it through shady crypto ventures, which made Trump 1.2 billion richer. At the same time, the Trump administration has gutted watchdogs and silenced critics, allowing Trump to exploit the oversight gap created to enrich himself through meme coins, stable coins, and backroom deals with foreign governments. 100% correct. And it ain't just Trump. It's a lot of people grifting and stealing from you, and you worship them. Oh, you're rich. You're rich. That's all that matters, bro. You're rich. If you're rich, you're good. If you're poor, you're bad. That's how dumb you have to be to believe that narrative. America, bald eagles. What we're witnessing isn't just unethical. It's the largest fraud and abuse of power in modern history. And America will be punished. You know what'll happen? Here's what'll happen, okay? Just like in the financial crisis, America will screw the world, and then all the money will flood to America in a flight to safety, and we'll get bailed out by the rest of the world, just like in 2008. That's how it always works. America just always gets a bailout. We screw the world. We suffer no consequences. I guess it's good to be an American, you know? Trump has used the power of the presidency to pitch crypto deals abroad. Bro, you want to have a trade deal with America? You know, accept poopy fart coin, brah. Engaging with questionable and dangerous foreign entities. Ooh. The bills Congress will consider this week place no checks on that behavior. Indeed, they make it easier for Trump's personal financial interests to dictate U.S. policy. I don't understand why these people have to just make billions and billions, okay? I mean, I get once you become rich, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do with my life. Maybe you keep yourself busy by just doing other business ventures because that's what you like to do. You like to start new companies. So I could see how people become billionaires because they constantly want to keep themselves busy. They never want to stop because that's the human condition. You never want to just, be set in one place in life. You want forward progress. I get it. Okay. But there's some people, they just want to amass cash. That's all they care about. How big is the number in my bank account? And after a certain point, it's like, do you really have to grift? If you have $100 million, why do you have to grift? You have $100 million. If I had $100 million, I mean, yeah, I'd probably do stuff. I'd probably invest it. I'd probably try to make more money. But I wouldn't be tempted to grift crypto to make a 100 million more. Why? At a certain point, the grifting needs to stop. It should never begin. It should never happen to begin with. Whatever. In committee, Democrats offered numerous amendments to curtail the president's abuse of power. Republicans voted down every single one. Trump's corruption shouldn't be our only concern, however. Oh, there's corruption everywhere, including in the Democratic Party. They're all corrupt. I mean, Maxine Waters, you think the Democrats are saints? Come on. They're all scum. A big problem with these bills is that they fail to protect consumers. We don't care about consumers. We want to grift them. It juices corporate profits. That's all that matters. Corporate profits, EPS, bro, vertical lines. The Clarity Act handcuffs the SEC, preventing it from proactively protecting people against fraud. Why would we want to do that? There's no grift in America. We shouldn't protect people. Oh God, it's so bad. It's so bad. This is my country. I joined the army to protect this country. America. Regulators would have to wait until after investors have already been harmed to act. Potentially after a company's collapsed and its life savings advantage. Sorry, we lent money to a subsidiary and they blew it all investing. Oops. We've seen this before. FTX collapsed because insiders illegally operated the exchange, controlled customer funds, and traded against their own clients. And all the guys that shielded it suffered no consequences. Of course. And now I'm the moron. I'm the dumb guy. Those guys are geniuses. Palantir, whatever. Buy their stupid stocks. They get everything right. They never get anything wrong. They just delete the videos. The Clarity Bill does nothing to address that, and in fact, actually creates space for similar schemes. This won't just affect consumers in crypto markets. Clarity will undermine traditional securities markets by creating loopholes that traditional firms can use to evade or exist. Oh, now we got to extend the grift back into the stock market. Not just crypto, no, everything, bro. Pretty soon it's going to be, the government's probably going to pay you to pump penny stocks. Oh, you pumped a penny stock on YouTube? Here's a tax credit. The Genius Act is no better. Though its supporters say it will provide urgently needed protections for users of stablecoins. Stablecoins, get out of here. You think all stablecoins are backed by legitimate currencies and securities? I doubt that. There's no funding provided to regulators to implement the law, and the consumer protections it provides are weak. Shocker. Money. Profit. Extract. Plunder. Pilfer. In contrast to the way banks are regulated, there are no community reinvestment requirements, no third-party vendor oversight, and the federal oversight of stablecoin issuers licensed by states or overseas is weak. This leaves users vulnerable to fraud and discrimination. People will fall for fraud. They'll lose everything. The grifters that promoted it will suffer no consequences. Rinse and repeat over and over and over and over again. Okay? And then the propaganda shills will blame someone or something for all their problems when it's the corporations grifting them. We need to seize the means of production. A second problem is that the bills create serious national security risks. While the Clarity Act mentions the Bank Secrecy Act, it does little to actually enforce it. During the House Committee on Financial Services markup of the bill, Republicans summarily rejected Democratic proposals to ensure crypto companies comply with the BSA, commensurate with the risk of financial crime facing their countries. Oh, you don't have to worry about banking regulations? Whatever, bro. Crypto companies can do whatever they want. There's no oversight. It's crypto. It's the future, bro. How dare you question the future? Do you hate progress? Do you hate innovation? Do you hate America? Do you hate bald eagles? What's wrong with you, bro? The bill also broadly exempts the decentralized finance industry from nearly all oversight. Oh, my God. A category that trumps world liberty financial, yet liberating you from your meager savings. Notably claims to fall under. I have never been happier to be globally diversified. I am so happy I'm globally diversified. I love it. I'm so happy. Meanwhile, the Genius Act opens the floodgates to foreign-controlled crypto that poses serious national security risks, all to appease Trump's inner circle, which has ties. Well, we want foreigners to come in so they can juice up our cryptos. America loves foreign capital. We suck it in, and we use it to gamble and degeneracy and clownery. We want all those foreign. We want everybody in the world to be buying our cryptos. Yeah. And then we'll destroy the world economy again, and then we won't suffer any consequences. A third problem is the bill's entrenched Wall Street power. Crypto has long been sold as a way to democratize finance away from the big banks. Oh, yeah. Whenever you see democratized finance, run away. It is a grift. The index fund democratized finance. The index fund democratized finance. Full stop. We don't need more garbage. But these bills will only strengthen Wall Street's dominance a long time. Big tech, bro. Large cap tech, bro. While squeezing out smaller innovators. They give mega banks and big crypto the green light to consolidate control. This should be enough reason for my colleagues to vote no. In a few weeks, we'll mark the 15th anniversary of the Dodd-Frank Act, landmark legislation that Congress passed in response to the 2008 America stiffing the world financial crisis. That crisis was made so much worse by one of those Wall Street supermarket firms, AIG, bro, an insurance giant that was allowed to insure complex, poorly regulated, and dangerous financial instruments. Is AIG still around, right? No consequences, bruh. Bro, I'm a finance guy. I gamble, and then I lose money, and then the government bails me out, and then I gamble again, and I make some money, and then I lose some money again, and the government bails me out. I'm such a genius, bro. Look at my Bugatti, bro. Finance. Scum, losers, do accounting. I will never forget the despair of Americans who lost their homes, jobs, and life savings. We don't care. Corporate profits, brah. Many of them never recovered. Passing the Clarity and Genius Acts would prove that we learned nothing from that disaster. Of course, we didn't learn anything. This is America. Congress now has a choice. Protect the public and uphold democratic accountability, or hand over the keys to a president using his power for personal gain. Oh, Trump, you can't stop Trump, dude. You can't. Trump will just do whatever. He will get oh my God, his family's going to be so rich. Woo! Trump is, you love him or hate him, that guy can fight. I mean, he took on the entire world, basically, and still won the election. If these bills become law, which they will, America will eventually face its first crypto financial crisis. I can't wait for that to happen. I'm going to laugh at all of you. And guess what? You're going to call me a hater. You're going to say I'm a clown. You're going to say I hate America. And I'm laughing at people that are losing money, when in reality, you're a bunch of gambling clowns and morons that you support this, and you deserve to lose everything if you support this nonsense. I have zero sympathy for you. Zero. And when that happens, my Republican colleagues will likely point fingers at everyone but themselves, just as they've always done, and they have no idea this could happen. But I won't. I'll say I told you so. And then I'll get to work on cleaning up their mess. Well, I guess I'm voting Democrat now, Maxine Wattis. Who's this? Wow, what an article. So what do you guys think about this? Let's close the screen here. Nope. Almost closed out the live stream there. What do you guys think? Do you agree with Maxine Waters, or
I'm a Republican? I can't agree with Maxine Waters because I'm a Republican, and that's bad, bro. You gotta always support Republicans, blah, 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 blah.
Hi, Daddy. What's up, Damien? How's it going? Waters 2028. This doesn't mean I support Maxine Waters, but the Democrats are right about crypto. They are right. They've never been more right about cryptocurrency. They were right about tariffs. They were right about crypto. Oh, God. Let's see. Gary Gensler was trying to crack down on. Gary Gensler is an American hero. That man fought against crypto. He did his best to try to fight the grift. And I respect that man. I'm not saying he's perfect. I don't know him that well. But at least he took a stand against crypto-pumping scammer, clown, fraud losers. He did. And I respect him for that. And everybody was laughing at him because now he's gone, oh, you're a loser. Now I can scam and there's no consequences. You guys are evil. Scum. I wish I could become dictator of America. I want to be dictator of America. Things would get nasty for a lot of you clowns. Oh, man, you better never hope that I become dictator of America. Things will get nasty for Wall Street. And crypto, woo, it'll never happen, of course. Me and Kevin will probably be dictator of America. Well, we've got a lot of comments here, but not a lot of member comments, so I guess I can't answer all the comments. If you want me to answer your comments on live streams, I'm not going to break on this, okay? You got to pay me $4.99 a month. You get free videos forever. If you want me to respond to your comments, I'm sorry. And you also get exclusive content being a member. So get mad all you want. I'm not responding to your comments. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you following this article. Let me know in the comments. Do you think is Maxine Waters bad? Is she wrong? Or is she maybe got some good points? And I think at some point there will be a crisis. There always is. Okay? And when you have this many greedy scoundrel scumbags all piling in to this disgusting grift that is crypto, something bad will happen. It's happened before. This is not hard. And of course, when you become a member, he shows you his dong. Well, I can neither confirm nor deny that, but that's a good one. All right, guys. Thanks. I think this is going to be the last video, at least on this channel tonight. And like, subscribe, and crypto's a grift.